You said yesterday the winter wind was biting at your sleeve, and I laughed and told you patience, spring was bound to take its leave. Now your heavy wool is hanging by the empty hallway door, and the little thread you dropped is sitting quiet on the floor. I checked the kitchen clock at 4 and saw your favorite cup still sitting on the counter right before I washed it up. The salt shaker left a ring upon the wooden board, a folded theater stub we tucked inside a cardboard cord, the tiny chip of porcelain upon the kitchen sink are all the little things that make my heavy heart just sink. Your reading glasses fold across the daily crossword page, with the corner neatly dog-eared at a clever middle age. I found your leather bookmark tucked inside a mystery book, right beside the paragraph where you had stopped to look. I noticed how the dust has settled on the windowsill, and how the corner rocking chair is standing empty still. The salt shaker left a ring upon the wooden board, a folded theater stub we tucked inside a cardboard cord, the tiny chip of porcelain upon the kitchen sink are all the little things that make my heavy heart just sink. People talk of grand departures, songs of parting ways. Nobody prepares you for the ending of the days, when the small details remain and start to shout about the quiet love that slowly petered out. The hallway coat is gone, and now the hook is bare. I brush a speck of linen away from sitting on the chair. I close the heavy front door, and I turn the silver key and leave the quiet kitchen to the evening and to me. The shade of amber on the china plate reminds me of a Tuesday past its date. I didn't mean to sit so close to you among the autumn coats of navy blue. You ordered coffee in a heavy cup and never looked to see who lingered up. Is that an old ring resting on your thumb from someone who forgot to ever come? We both are waiting for the clock to turn, with lessons that we took too long to learn. Your fingers trace the rim without a sound, while silver spoons fell softly to the ground. I have a coat that smells of cedar wood, and photographs of where I wish I stood. The heavy traffic murmurs down the street, where strangers pass but never quite can meet. Is that an old ring resting on your thumb, from someone who forgot to ever come? We both are waiting for the clock to turn, with lessons that we took too long to learn. We share a silence built of separate lives, like folded letters tucked in dusty drives. One word from you would break the heavy spell, or we can leave without a tale to tell. The waiter brings the bill across the floor, and we walk out through different sides of door. I take the bus that heads toward the hill, and leave your amber shadow standing still. The rough wool of your gray winter coat still hangs in the back of the hall. I touch the stiff collar and suddenly see the frost drawing ferns on the wall. Time is a thief with a gentle hand. It takes all the noise and leaves just the sand. I remember the tune that you whistled so low while packing your suitcase in flickering light. The taxi was waiting, parked out in the snow, and neither of us could look back in the night. Your silver cufflink rolled under the bed. It stayed there for years in the dust. I found it the spring that the cherry tree died, and watched the small metal turn rust. Some doors never close, though the hinges are dry. They swing in the drafts of a wandering sigh. I remember the tune that you whistled so low while packing your suitcase in flickering light. The taxi was waiting, parked out in the snow, and neither of us could look back in the night. I brewed only one cup of tea here today and watched how the steam slowly drifted away to places where youth and where patience still stay. The coat has grown heavy and winter is deep. I fold up the sleeves and I lie down to sleep. The fabric remembers the warmth of your arm and keeps me from freezing, safe away from the harm. Silver spoon rest by my teacup now. I polished it until my fingers grew so tired. It only ever stirred the sugar in your brew. And now the water sits untouched and blue. I practice what I plan to say when someone asks if you are gone. I clear my throat and look away and let the quiet linger on. Some loves depart with heavy sound, like timber crashing to the ground. Ours slipped away like rain that leaves a glass without a stain. I bought a single loaf of bread this afternoon. It seemed a foolish thing to carry down the street. The baker smiled and asked if guests were coming soon. I shook my head and paid for what I'd eat. I practice what I plan to say when someone asks if you are gone. I clear my throat and look away and let the quiet linger on. Some loves depart with heavy sound, like timber crashing to the ground. Ours slipped away like winter rain that leaves a glass without a stain. I fold the blankets on the right side of the bed, just out of habit or perhaps from foolish grace. The indentation where you used to rest your head remains an empty space. Some loves depart with heavy sound, like timber crashing to the ground. Ours slipped away like winter rain that leaves a glass without a stain. The spoon is washed and placed placed inside the wooden drawer. I close it gently so it doesn't make a sound. I do not need to wait beside the door for things that cannot leave the ground. Clinking on the curb, just like the year we turned 16. You used to lend your heavy coat whenever winds were sharp and lean. I saved a photograph we took beneath the old brick railway sign, where you promised you would stay and let our separate worlds align. Old friend, you packed your suitcase neat and walked away down gravel street. I watched the shadows stretch so long and hum our favorite vanished song. Your favorite mug is on the shelf, collecting dust beside the door. I poured 2 cups of bitter tea, though you will never share them more. I keep the radio turned low to catch the station we adored, before the silence filled the house and broke the patience we had stored. Old friend, you packed your suitcase neat and walked away down gravel street. I watched the shadows stretch so long and hum our favorite vanished song. The letters that you mailed from coast to coast are sitting faded in the wooden drawer. I wonder if you miss the autumn chill, or if you never think of this small town anymore. Old friend, you packed your suitcase neat and walked away down gravel street. I watched the shadows stretch so long and hum our favorite vanished song. The milk truck turns the corner now. I lock the wooden front door tight. I hope you found the peace you sought somewhere beneath a kinder scent of pipe tobacco lingers in the porch light's glow. A brand he used to smoke 40 winters ago. She sweeps the cedar needles off the wooden floor and stops to watch the shadow by the screen door. He never learned to pack his bags without a sigh. She never learned to watch a graybeard wander by. He left his winter overcoat hanging in the hall. She lets the mail pile higher through the autumn fall. 2 cups of porcelain sit dusty on the shelf while love becomes a secret kept unto itself. The neighborhood remembers how they danced till dawn before the moving truck arrived and he was gone. She folds a woolen blanket that he left behind and leaves the kitchen window open to the wind. He always took his coffee black with silver cream. She measures out her days inside a fading dream. He left his winter overcoat hanging in the hall. She lets the mail pile higher through the autumn fall. 2 cups of porcelain sit dusty on the shelf while love becomes a secret kept unto itself. Time does not forgive the ones who wait too long. It turns a heavy silence to a quiet song. The tobacco smoke dissolves into the evening air. She pulls the knitted shawl across her quiet chair. There is no anger left inside the empty room, just memories that settle like a quiet bloom. Why did the milkman leave 2 bottles on the porch when you packed your trunk and walked away in May? I stare at the rug where the upright used to stand and wonder if the movers took the keys away. My copper kettle whistles to an empty room while I fold your woolen sweaters in the fading light. I saved a single button from your Sunday coat and pinned it to the lining of my autumn shawl. The kitchen clock is ticking louder than before, and your heavy boots no longer echo in the hall. I walk down to the market where we bought the plums and nearly asked the vendor how your fever stayed. Then memory tapped my shoulder like a nervous friend to whisper that the ledger has already paid. My copper kettle whistles to an empty room while I fold your woolen sweaters in the fading light. I saved a single button from your Sunday coat and pinned it to the lining of my autumn shawl. The kitchen clock is ticking louder than before, and your heavy boots no longer echo in the hall. Some nights the rain sounds just like fingers on the glass, asking if the latch is turned against the cold. I answer to the shadows that the room is warm, even as the fire slowly loses all its gold. The kettle finally settles down upon the stove, and I blow the little candle out beside my bed. I hope the train treated you kindly through the dark, with everything we meant to keep and left unsaid. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room, like scissors clipping threads of afternoon. I almost poured 2 cups of Earl Grey tea before I remembered you left the key. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room, like scissors clipping threads of afternoon. I almost poured 2 cups of Earl Grey tea before I remembered you left the key. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room, like scissors clipping threads of afternoon. I almost poured 2 cups of Earl Grey tea before I remembered you left the key. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room, like scissors clipping threads of afternoon. I almost poured 2 cups of Earl Grey tea before I remembered you left the key. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room, looping threads of afternoon. I almost poured 2 cups of Earl Grey tea before I remembered you left the key. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room. The weight of the chair against the wooden floor tells me how long I sat waiting at that door. I was so certain love would knock again before the evening rain turned into cold blue pain. You wore your hair parted high and tied with silk, drinking every bitter word like poison milk, believing that forgiveness was a virtue test, while heartbreak built a permanent nest in your chest. Little girl in the mirror with the tear-stained face, I survived the shipwreck in that quiet place. Nobody warned me how the youth would slip away, or how the darkest night could turn to silver gray. I found the letters that you hid beneath the bed, every single foolish promise that he said. Your handwriting was round and hopeful then, before you put away the fountain pen. You spent your Sundays washing dishes in the dark, waiting for a telephone that left no spark. I wanna reach across the years and hold your hand and tell you that you didn't have to understand. Little girl in the mirror with the tear-stained face, I survived the shipwreck in that quiet place. Nobody warned me how the youth would slip away, or how the darkest night could turn to silver gray. We finally learned to love the quiet in the hall, without a single picture hanging on the wall. The chair is empty now and I can breathe at last. I made peace with the ghost of our romantic past. I fold the blanket and I turn off the lamp. The evening paper on the porch is damp. Thank you for holding on when times were so severe. I am finally living the life we wished for here. warmer glow of copper lamps is falling slow across the worn-out vinyl of this booth below. You sit alone and turning round a silver ring while outside rain is washing clean the taxi cab spring. I never meant to start a word with anyone tonight, but your familiar shadow caught the fading candlelight. We share a silence built of years we never knew. You stir your sugar twice the way my father used to do. A stranger sitting close enough to touch the past. Some conversations only need a minute left to last. Your heavy coat is shedding drops of autumn chill. The diner clock is ticking loud, the world is still. You ask me if the coffee here is still too strong. I tell you yes, it has been bitter all along. We trade a quiet smile across the butter and the toast, like ghosts who found each other at the post. We share a silence built of years we never knew. You stir your sugar twice the way my father used to do. A stranger sitting close enough to touch the past. Some conversations only need a minute left to last. The waitress brings the check and leaves a porcelain mug. We make no promise for a handshake or a parting hug. You take the left door, turning toward the subway stair. I watch the empty corner where you left your care. The door swings shut and leaves me with my cup of tea. A fleeting ghost who looked a bit like history. The amber light is dimming as the morning nears. I paid for both our coffees and the passing years. Kitchen clock reads 20 past the hour. I set 2 cups upon the polished wood. I left behind the garden and the flower, just like we always said we likely would. Decades pass and winters turn to gold. We found a way to grow without the cold. I'll pour the steaming water from the pot and wonder if you remember what we forgot. Your favorite armchair faces toward the pane, while outside gently falls fold the daily paper at the crease. We never had to worry about the date. We finally found our quiet piece of peace. Decades pass and winters turn to gold. We found a way to grow without the cold. Now pour the steaming water from the pot and wonder if you remember what we forgot. Your favorite armchair faces toward the pane, while outside gently falls the autumn rain. Some days the kitchen feels so very wide. I reach across the space to find your hand. We walk together down the aging side and honor every promise we had planned. I'll pour the steaming water from the pot and wonder if you remember what we forgot. Your favorite armchair faces toward the pane, while outside gently falls the autumn rain. The clock strikes 4 and time has slowed right down. The quietest and sweetest street in town. I hold your hand and watch the shadows bend until the very final chapters end. A single bone button rests in the dish, a remnant of wool I forgot how to mend. I stare at the porcelain, making a wish that time might quietly turn back again. The kettle is silent, the afternoon hold. I wrap my thin cardigan tighter against the cold. We packed up the baskets and closed all the doors, with nothing to carry of yours or of mine, except for the silence that settles on floors and footprints erased by the passage of time. I trace the small rim with the tip of my thumb, remembering winters that felt so secure. The words that we needed were always too numb to hold back the changes we had to endure. The light on the table is amber and deep. It touches the shadow where memories sleep. We packed up the baskets and closed all the doors, with nothing to carry of yours or of mine, except for the silence that settles on floors, and footprints erased by the passage of time. It takes so much courage to leave things right here, to let go of anger and banish the fear. The code has been given, the button stayed behind, a tiny small anchor to steady my mind. We packed up the baskets and closed all the doors, with nothing to carry of yours or of mine, except for the silence that settles on floors, and footprints erased by the passage of time. The dish stays untouched as the evening descends. It is only an object, but where the heart ends is here in the quiet, where daylight grows dim, and I pour out the tea that was meant just for him. A distant rattle of the trolley down the lane reminds me of the night we stood out in the rain. You buttoned up your collar against the autumn chill and promised me our quiet street would never change its will. I still keep the woolen shawl you draped across my chair when laughter filled the parlor and silver filled your hair. Old friend of mine, the orchard gate is hanging low. The paths we used to walk together covered deep in snow. You chose a separate highway when the autumn turned to gray and left our Sunday mornings drifting far away. I baked the cherry pastry you always used to praise before the heavy silence fell across our final days. The parlor lamp is burning, but the wick is getting low. I wonder if you miss the rhythm of the radio. I still see your shadow passing by the garden wall whenever distant church bells start to call. Old friend of mine, the orchard gate is hanging low. The paths we used to walk together covered deep in snow. You chose a separate highway when the autumn turned to gray and left our Sunday mornings drifting far away. We spent our youth on promises we traded in the dark. Now time has left our story quiet in the public park. I hope you found the harbor that you looked for from the start, with nothing heavy sitting on your weary heart. I lock the front door softly as the streetlights start to fade, and thank the quiet heavens for the memories we made. The trolley turns the corner and the iron rails grow still. I leave a lamp burning on the windowsill. The smell of damp wool and autumn rain hangs in the hallway still, where he used to hang his heavy coat and hat against the chill. She walks past the corner table where his gloves are lying flat, wondering how a house can empty out so fast from that. For 40 years they shared the toast and watched the neighborhood grow old. Now every floorboard speaks of summer heat and winter cold. She watches the taxi take him down the unlined avenue, leaving nothing on the porch except the morning paper's view. There is no shouting in the yard, no slamming of the heavy door, just the quiet ticking of a clock that measures out the floor. Neighbors turn their curtains back to watch the quiet street below, whispering behind the glass of where they think he had to go. She stays inside and pours a cup of bitter China tea, sitting by the bay window to face what used to be. She folds the letters into bundles tied with faded cotton thread, remembering every careless word they wish they had not said. She watches the taxi take him down the unlined avenue, leaving nothing on the porch except the morning paper's view. There is no shouting in the yard, no slamming of the heavy door, just the quiet ticking of a clock that measures out the floor. The teacup rattles in her saucer as the afternoon declines, tracing with her finger all the kitchen table's wooden lines. Love does not always vanish in a sudden flash of fire. Sometimes it just quietly retires. She puts the lid back tightly on the tin of yesterday, turning off the kitchen light and putting grief away. The kettle stops its whistling upon the iron stove, ending the long chapter of the life they tried to prove. stone. My tea is lukewarm now, poured an hour ago. I touch the walnut side where the varnish wore. Your wool cardigan hangs behind the bedroom door. Minutes fold into hours like pages in a heavy book. I catch myself turning around for a familiar look. Silver dust gathers thick on the phonograph. I still hear your chest shake with a Sunday laugh. We packed the suitcases right before the autumn rain. Now empty rooms whisper your name in vain. I keep the porch light burning till the filament dies. Outside the window, dusk paints the violet skies. Did we misplace the map, or did the road just bend? I never learned how a quiet story ought to end. Shadows stretch across the floorboards wide and deep. Promises made in the dark are harder now to keep. Silver dust gathers thick on the phonograph. I still hear your chest shake with a Sunday laugh. We packed the suitcases right before the autumn rain. Now empty rooms whisper your name in vain. Time is a river taking everything we used to hold, leaving us shivering inside the sudden cold. I wear your favorite ring upon my slender hand, writing our history softly in the shifting sand. I lock the front door and turn the iron key. The quiet evening falls gently over me. No answers come back through the window pane. I whisper goodnight to the falling rain. The weight of the chair when you stood up so fast left a mark on the rug that outlasted the past. I was younger then, believing every tear would turn to a jewel if I held it right here. You left your amber comb beside the porcelain sink, and I spent 20 years wondering what you might think. If you could see me now, wearing softer shoes, with nothing left to prove and no one else to lose. Dresses that you swore I looked great in, and forgave the younger girl for the trouble she was in. We traded all our certainty for a gentler shade of blue, and I finally learned to love the girl I used to be to you. Your letters sat untouched inside the cedar box through 30 winters and the turning of the clocks. I used to think that love was something loud and grand, like a runaway train in the palm of your hand. But wisdom comes so slowly, like the moss upon the stone. It takes a quiet house to truly feel at home. I wore my heart too thin upon my velvet sleeve, and took too many years to learn the way to leave. I folded up the dresses that you swore I looked great in, and forgave the younger girl for the trouble she was in. We traded all our certainty for a gentler shade of blue, and I finally learned to love the girl I used to be to you. Dear yesterday, I hope you finally rest your head without the heavy doubts we carried down to bed. The road was winding and the rain was cold and deep, but we made it through the dark to find our peace to keep. The chair is empty now, and the floorboards have grown still. I would not change a single tear or bend a single will. The story that we wrote has turned a lovely page, and I am right where I belong upon this quiet stage. A glowing hand points straight to 8:04. I set 2 teacups on the walnut tray. I saved your heavy coat behind the door, just in case you wander back today. I imagine how you'll knock upon the glass with cold red fingers and a quiet smile, and I will pretend I didn't wait at all, just standing by the window for a while. Years from now, when silver threads are in my hair, I will tell the empty room about your favorite chair, how you left your fountain pen beside the porcelain plate, and how I always knew you'd simply come home late. The ticking pendulum keeps steady time, measuring the shadows on the floor. stepped right through that heavy door. 4 minutes past the hour turns to 5, and I am still so glad that we survived. I close the curtains as the evening fades, and keep the gentle promises we made. A copper thimble by the sugar bowl stays where it fell when you turned to go. I sweep the crumbs from the oilcloth table and wonder why I still keep it so. The kettle starts to whistle for a crowd of one. I pour the water till the steam is done. We practice leaving in the quiet dark, with careful steps that never left a mark. You took your coat and turned the iron and left me here to count the ticking watch. Your heavy boots are gone from by the door. No tracks of mud upon the kitchen floor. I mend a collar with a clumsy thread and listen to the silence in my head. The photograph is fading in the parlor frame. I barely whisper when I speak your name. We practice leaving in the quiet dark, with careful steps that never left a mark. You took your coat and turned the iron latch and left me here to count the ticking watch. I fold the letters that you never sent and try to trace the way our summers went. A lifetime slips between us, sigh, and then I do not think we will walk out again. The copper thimble stays beside the cup. I leave the window open as night comes up. The kettle cools and all the fire is dead. I turn the lamp down low and go to bed. painted clock face reads 11 straight, while you sit waiting by the garden gate, with too much hope inside your woven purse, believing every promise in the verse. I see your hands fold tight across your knees, afraid to ask the very passing breeze. Little girl, you pack your bags too soon, chasing shadows underneath the noon. That heart will break against the kitchen wall before the autumn leaves begin to fall. Your letters written with such tender care are stacked against the leg of that old chair. I wanna step right through the looking glass and warn you how the sweetest days will pass. I see your tears fall heavy on the page before you even step upon the stage. Little girl, you pack your bags too soon, chasing shadows underneath the noon. That heart will break against the kitchen wall before the autumn leaves begin to fall. We love the wrong ones just to learn the cost, and counted every single treasure lost. I wish I could reach back across the years and wipe away those foolish girlish tears. The painted clock still ticks upon the wall. I forgive us both and love you most of all. I finally learned to wear the scars we chose and rest my tired feet before it closed. The solitary thought divides the stillness of this empty bedroom where we used to talk. I trace the floral pattern on the wallpaper and listen to the neighbors walking on the walk. The suitcase sits beside the heavy dresser, buckled tight with everything I chose to pack. I left the kitchen window slightly open to let the autumn breeze sweep through the floor. You packed your heavy leather boots and vanished, and locked the rusted latch upon the door. Your favorite coffee mug is sitting idle, with half a ring of brown beside the rim. I wonder if you felt your courage failing when street lamps flickered low and grew so dim. The taxi horn is sounding down the alley, announcing that the vehicle has arrived. I left the kitchen window slightly open to let the autumn breeze sweep through the floor. You packed your heavy leather boots and vanished, and locked the rusted latch upon the door. I never thought we would surrender quietly, without a single shout to clear the air. Just packing up the fragments of our history and leaving shadows sitting in the chair. I pull my coat collar against the weather and close the heavy front door with a sigh. The porch light burns to guide your empty coming, while I step in the cab and wave goodbye. You said yesterday the winter wind was biting at your sleeve, and I laughed and told you patience, spring was bound to take its leave. Now your heavy wool is hanging by the empty hallway door, and the little thread you dropped is sitting quiet on the floor. I checked the kitchen clock at 4 and saw your favorite cup still sitting on the counter right before I washed it up. The salt shaker left a ring upon the wooden board, a folded theater stub we tucked inside a cardboard cord. Tiny chip of porcelain upon the kitchen sink are all the little things that make my heavy heart just sink. Your reading glasses fold across the daily crossword page, with the corner neatly dog-eared at a clever middle age. I found your leather bookmark tucked inside a mystery book, right beside the paragraph where you had stopped to look. I noticed how the dust has settled on the windowsill, and how the corner rocking chair is standing empty still. The salt shaker left a ring upon the wooden board, a folded theater stub we tucked inside a cardboard cord. The tiny chip of porcelain upon the kitchen sink are all the little things that make my heavy heart when the small details remain and start to shout about the quiet love that slowly petered out. The hallway coat is gone, and now the hook is bare. I brush a speck of linen away from sitting on the chair. I close the heavy front door, and I turn the silver key and leave the quiet kitchen to the evening and to me. Shade of amber on the china plate reminds me of a Tuesday past its date. I didn't mean to sit so close to you among the autumn coats of navy blue. You ordered coffee in a heavy cup and never looked to see who lingered up. Is that an old ring resting on your thumb from someone who forgot to ever come? We both are waiting for the clock to turn, with lessons that we took too long to learn. Your fingers trace the rim without a sound, while silver spoons fell softly to the ground. I have a coat that smells of cedar and photographs of where I wish I stood. The heavy traffic murmurs down the street, where strangers pass but never quite can meet. Is that an old ring resting on your thumb from someone who forgot to ever come? We both are waiting for the clock to turn, with lessons that we took too long to learn. We share a silence built of separate lives, like folded letters tucked in dusty drives. One word from you would break the heavy spell, or we can leave without a tale to tell. The waiter brings the bill across the floor, and we walk out through different sides of door. I take the bus that heads toward the hill and leave your amber shadow standing still. your gray winter coat still hangs in the back of the hall. I touch the stiff collar and suddenly see the frost drawing ferns on the wall. Time is a thief with a gentle hand. It takes all the noise and leaves just the sand. I remember the tune that you whistled so low while packing your suitcase in flickering light. The taxi was waiting, parked out in the snow, and neither of us could look back in the night. Your silver cufflink rolled under the bed. It stayed there for years in the dust. I found it the spring that the cherry tree died, and watched the small metal turn rust. Some doors never close, though the hinges are dry. They swing in the drafts of a wandering sigh. I remember the tune that you whistled so low while packing your suitcase in flickering light. The taxi was waiting, parked out in the snow, and neither of us could look back in the night. I brewed only one cup of tea here today, and watched how the steam slowly drifted away to places where youth and where patience still stay. The coat has grown heavy and winter is deep. I fold up the sleeves and I lie down to sleep. The fabric remembers the warmth of your arm and keeps me from freezing, safe away from the harm. Silver spoon rests by my teacup now. I polished it until my fingers grew so tired. It only ever stirred the sugar in your brew, and now the water sits untouched and blue. I practice what I plan to say when someone asks if you are gone. I clear my throat and look away and let the quiet linger on. Some loves depart with heavy sound, like timber crashing to the ground. Ours slipped away like winter rain that leaves a glass without a stain. I seemed a foolish thing to carry down the street. The baker smiled and asked if guests were coming soon. I shook my head and paid for what I'd eat. I practice what I plan to say when someone asks if you are gone. I clear my throat and look away and let the quiet linger on. Some loves depart with heavy sound, like timber crashing to the ground. Ours slipped away like winter rain that leaves a glass without a stain. I fold the blankets on the right side of the bed, just out of habit or perhaps from foolish grace. The indentation where you used to rest your head remains an empty space. Some loves depart with heavy sound, like timber crashing to the ground. Ours slipped away like winter rain that leaves a glass without a stain. The spoon is washed and placed inside the wooden drawer. I close it gently so it doesn't make a sound. I do not need to wait beside the door for things that cannot leave the ground. Milk bottles clinking on the curb, just like the year we turned 16. You used to lend your heavy coat whenever winds were sharp and lean. I saved a photograph we took beneath the old brick railway sign, where you promised you would stay and let our separate worlds align. Old friend, you packed your suitcase neat and walked away down gravel street. I watched the shadows stretch so long and hum our favorite vanished song. Your favorite mug is on the shelf, collecting dust beside the door. I poured 2 cups of bitter tea, though you will never share them more. I keep the radio turned low to catch the station we adored before the silence filled the house and broke the patience we had stored. milk truck turns the corner now. I lock the wooden front door tight. I hope you found the peace you sought somewhere beneath a kinder light. A scent of pipe tobacco lingers in the porch light's glow. A brand he used to smoke 40 winters ago. She sweeps the cedar needles off the wooden floor and stops to watch the shadow by the screen door. He never learned to pack his bags without a sigh. She never learned to watch a graybeard wander by. He left his winter overcoat hanging in the hall. She lets the mail pile higher through the autumn fall. 2 cups of porcelain sit dusty on the shelf while love becomes a secret kept unto itself. The neighborhood remembers how they danced till dawn before the moving truck arrived and he was gone. She folds a woolen blanket that he left behind and leaves the kitchen window open to the wind. He always took his coffee black with silver cream. She measures out her days inside a fading dream. He left his winter overcoat hanging in the hall. She lets the mail pile higher through the autumn fall. 2 cups of porcelain sit dusty on the shelf while love becomes a secret kept unto itself. Does not forgive the ones who wait too long. It turns a heavy silence to a quiet song. The tobacco smoke dissolves into the evening air. She pulls the knitted shawl across her quiet chair. There is no anger left inside the empty room, just memories that settle like a quiet bloom. trunk and walked away in May. I stare at the rock where the upright used to stand and wonder if the movers took the keys away. My copper kettle whistles to an empty room while I fold your woolen sweaters in the fading light. I saved a single button from your Sunday coat and pinned it to the lining of my autumn shawl. The kitchen clock is ticking louder than before, and your heavy boots no longer echo in the hall. I walked down to the market where we bought the plums and nearly asked the vendor how your fever stayed. Then memory tapped my shoulder like a nervous friend to whisper that the ledger has already paid. My copper kettle whistles to an empty room while I fold your woolen sweaters in the fading light. I saved a single button from your Sunday coat and pinned it to the lining of my autumn shawl. The kitchen clock is ticking louder than before, and your heavy boots no longer echo in the hall. Some nights the rain sounds just like fingers on the glass, asking if the latch is turned against the cold. I answer to the shadows that the room is warm, even as the fire slowly loses all its gold. The kettle finally settles down upon the stove, and I blow the little candle out beside my bed. I hope the train treated you kindly through the dark, with everything we meant to keep and left unsaid. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room, like scissors clipping threads of afternoon. I almost poured 2 cups of Earl Grey tea before I remembered you left the key. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room, like scissors clipping threads of afternoon. I almost poured 2 cups of Earl Grey tea before I remembered you left the key. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room, like scissors clipping threads of afternoon. I almost of Earl Grey tea. Before I remembered you left the key. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room, like scissors clipping threads of afternoon. I almost poured 2 cups of Earl Grey tea before I remembered you left the key. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room, like scissors clipping threads of afternoon. I almost poured 2 cups of Earl Grey tea before I remembered you left the key. A sudden thought cuts through the quiet room. Weight of the chair against the wooden floor tells me how long I sat waiting at that door. I was so certain love would knock again before the evening rain turned into cold blue pain. You wore your hair parted high and tied with silk, drinking every bitter word like poison milk, believing that forgiveness was a virtue test, while heartbreak built a permanent nest in your chest. Little girl in the mirror with the tear-stained face, I survived the shipwreck in that quiet place. Nobody warned me how the youth would slip away, or how the darkest night could turn to silver gray. Found the letters that you hid beneath the bed, every single foolish promise that he said. Your handwriting was round and hopeful then, before you put away the fountain pen. You spent your Sundays washing dishes in the dark, waiting for a telephone that left no spark. I wanna reach across the years and hold your hand and tell you that you didn't have to understand. Little girl in the mirror with the tear-stained face, I survived the shipwreck in that quiet place. Nobody warned me how the youth would slip away, or how the darkest night could turn to silver gray. We finally learned to love the quiet in the hall, without a single picture hanging on the wall. The chair is empty now and I can breathe at last. I made peace with the ghost ghost of our romantic past. I fold the blanket and I turn off the lamp. The evening paper on the porch is damp. Thank you for holding on when times were so severe. I am finally living the life we wished for here. The amber glow of copper lamps is falling slow across the worn-out vinyl of this booth below. You sit alone and turning round a silver ring while outside rain is washing clean the taxi cab spring. I never meant to start a word with anyone tonight, but your familiar shadow caught the fading candlelight. We share a silence built of years we never knew. You stir your sugar twice the way my father used to do. A stranger sitting close enough to touch the past. Some conversations only need a minute left to last. Your heavy coat is shedding drops of autumn chill. The diner clock is ticking loud, the world is still. You ask me if the coffee here is still too strong. I tell you yes, it has been bitter all along. We trade a quiet smile across the butter and the toast, like ghosts who found each other at the post. We share a silence built of years we never knew. You stir your sugar twice the way my father used to do. A stranger sitting close enough to touch the past. Some conversations only need a minute left to last. The waitress brings the check and leaves a porcelain mug. We make no promise for a handshake or a parting hug. You take the left door, turning toward the subway stair. I watch the empty corner where you left your care. The door swings shut and leaves me with my cup of tea. A fleeting ghost who looked a bit like history. The amber light is dimming as the morning nears. I paid for both our coffees and the passing years. It's 20 past the hour. I set 2 cups upon the polished wood. I left behind the garden and the flower, just like we always said we likely would. Decades pass and winters turn to gold. We found a way to grow without the cold. I'll pour the steaming water from the pot and wonder if you remember what we forgot. Your favorite armchair faces toward the pane, while outside gently falls the autumn rain. Your reading glasses rest beside the plate. I fold the daily paper at the crease. We never had to worry about the date. We finally found our quiet piece of peace. Decades pass and winters turn to gold. We found a way to grow without the cold. I'll pour the steaming water from the pot and wonder if you remember what we forgot. Your favorite armchair faces toward the pane, while outside gently falls the autumn rain. Some days the kitchen feels so very wide. I reach across the space to find your hand. We walk together down the aging side and honor every promise we had planned. I'll pour the steaming water from the pot and wonder if you remember what we forgot. Your favorite armchair faces toward the pane, while outside gently falls the autumn rain. The clock strikes 4 and time has slowed right down. The quietest and sweetest street in town. I hold your hand and watch the shadows bend until the very final chapters end. A single bone button rests in the dish, a remnant of wool I forgot how to mend. I stare at the porcelain, making a wish that time might quietly turn back again. The kettle is silent, the afternoon hold. I wrap my thin cardigan tighter against the cold. We packed up the baskets and closed all the doors, with nothing to carry of yours or of mine. the silence that settles on floors, and footprints erased by the passage of time. I trace the small rim with the tip of my thumb, remembering winters that felt so secure. The words that we needed were always too numb to hold back the changes we had to endure. The light on the table is amber and deep. It touches the shadow where memories sleep. We packed up the baskets and closed all the doors, with nothing to carry of yours or of mine, except for the silence that settles on floors, and footprints erased by the passage of time. It takes so much courage to leave things right here, to let go of anger and banish the fear. The code has been given, the button stayed behind, a tiny small anchor to steady my mind. We packed up the baskets and closed all the doors, with nothing to carry of yours or of mine, except for the silence that settles on floors, and footprints erased by the passage of time. The dish stays untouched as the evening descends. It is only an object, but where the heart ends is here in the quiet, where daylight grows dim, and I pour out the tea that was meant just for him. A distant rattle of the trolley down the lane reminds me of the night we stood out in the rain. You buttoned up your collar against the autumn chill and promised me our quiet street would never change its will. I still keep the woolen shawl you draped across my chair when laughter filled the parlor and silver filled your hair. Old friend of mine, the orchard gate is hanging low. The paths we used to walk together covered deep in snow. You chose a separate highway when the autumn turned to gray and left our Sunday mornings drifting far away. I baked the cherry pastry you always used to praise before the heavy silence fell across our final days. The parlor lamp is burning, but the wick is getting low. I wonder if you miss the rhythm of the radio. I still shadow passing by the garden wall. Whenever distant church bells start to call. Old friend of mine, the orchard gate is hanging low. The paths we used to walk together, covered deep in snow. He chose a separate highway when the autumn turned to gray, and left our Sunday mornings drifting far away. We spent our youth on promises we traded in the dark. Now time has left our story quiet in the public park. I hope you found the harbor that you looked for from the start, with nothing heavy sitting on your weary heart. I lock the front door softly as the streetlights start to fade, and thank the quiet heavens for the memories we made. The trolley turns the corner and the iron rails grow still. I leave a lamp burning on the windowsill. The smell of damp wool and autumn rain hangs in the hallway still, where he used to hang his heavy coat and hat against the chill. She walks past the corner table where his gloves are lying flat, wondering how a house can empty out so fast from that. For 40 years they shared the toast and watched the neighborhood grow old. Now every floorboard speaks of summer heat and winter cold. She watches the taxi take him down the unlined avenue, leaving nothing on the porch except the morning paper's view. There is no shouting in the yard, no slamming of the heavy door, just the quiet ticking of a clock that measures out the floor. Neighbors turn their curtains back to watch the quiet street below, whispering behind the glass of where they think he had to go. She stays inside and pours a cup of bitter China tea, sitting by the bay window to face what used to be. She folds the letters into bundles tied with faded cotton thread, remembering every careless word they wish they had not said. She watches the taxi take him down the unlined avenue, leaving nothing on the porch except the morning paper's view. There is no shouting in the yard, no slamming of the heavy door, just the quiet ticking of a clock that measures out the floor. The teacup rattles in her saucer as the afternoon declines, tracing with her finger all the kitchen table's wooden lines. Love does not always vanish in a sudden flash of fire. Sometimes it just quietly retires. She puts the lid back tightly on the tin of yesterday, turning off the kitchen light and putting grief away. The kettle stops its whistling upon the iron stove, ending the long chapter of the life they tried to prove. Why does a fallen leaf always choose the stone? My tea is lukewarm now, poured an hour ago. I touch the walnut side where the varnish wore. Your wool cardigan hangs behind the bedroom door. Minutes fold into hours like pages in a heavy book. I catch myself turning around for a familiar look. Silver dust gathers thick on the phonograph. I still hear your chest shake with a Sunday laugh. We packed the suitcases right before the autumn rain. Now empty rooms whisper your name in vain. I keep the porch light burning till the filament dies. Outside the window, dusk paints the violet skies. Did we misplace the map, or did the road just bend? I never learned how a quiet story ought to end. Shadows stretch across the floorboards wide and deep. Promises made in the dark are harder now to keep. Silver dust gathers thick on the phonograph. I still hear your chest shake with a Sunday laugh. We packed the suitcases right before the autumn rain. Now empty rooms whisper your name in vain. Time is a river taking everything we used to hold, leaving us shivering inside the sudden cold. I wear your favorite ring upon my slender hand, writing our history softly in the shifting sand. I lock the front door and turn the iron key. The quiet evening falls gently over me. No answers come back through the window pane. I whisper goodnight to the falling rain. chair when you stood up so fast, left a mark on the rug that outlasted the past. I was younger then, believing every tear would turn to a jewel if I held it right here. You left your amber comb beside the porcelain sink, and I spent 20 years wondering what you might think. If you could see me now, wearing softer shoes, with nothing left to prove and no one else to lose, I folded up the dresses that you swore I looked great in, and forgave the younger girl for the trouble she was in. We traded all our certainty for a gentler shade of blue, and I finally learned to love the girl I used to be to you. Your letters sat untouched inside the cedar box, through 30 winters and the turning of the clocks. I used to think that love was something loud and grand, like a runaway train in the palm of your hand. But wisdom comes so slowly, like the moss upon the stone. It takes a quiet house to truly feel at home. I wore my heart too thin upon my velvet sleeve, and took too many years to learn the way to leave. I folded up the dresses that you swore I looked great in, and forgave the younger girl for the trouble she was in. We traded all our certainty for a gentler shade of blue, and I finally learned to love the girl I used to be to you. Dear yesterday, I hope you finally rest your head without the heavy doubts we carried down to bed. The road was winding and the rain was cold and deep, but we made it through the dark to find our peace to keep. The chair is empty now, and the floorboards have grown still. I would not change a single tear or bend a single will. The story that we wrote has turned a lovely page, and I am right where I belong, upon this quiet stage. A glowing hand points straight to 8:04. I set 2 teacups on the walnut tray. I saved your heavy coat behind the door, just in case you wander back today. I imagine how you'll knock upon the glass with cold red fingers and a quiet smile, and I will pretend I didn't wait at all, just standing by the window for a while. Years from now, when silver threads are in my hair, I will tell the empty room about your favorite chair, how you left your fountain pen beside the porcelain plate, and how I always knew you'd simply come home late. The ticking pendulum keeps steady time, measuring the shadows on the floor. I trace the dust where your old boots would sit before you stepped right through that heavy door. 4 minutes past the hour turns to 5, and I am still so glad that we survived. I close the curtains as the evening fades, and keep the gentle promises we made. A copper thimble by the sugar bowl stays where it fell when you turned to go. I sweep the crumbs from the oilcloth table and wonder why I still keep it so. The kettle starts to whistle for a crowd of one. I pour the water till the steam is done. We practice leaving in the quiet dark, with careful steps that never left a mark. You took your coat and turned the iron and left me here to count the ticking watch. Your heavy boots are gone from by the door, no tracks of mud upon the kitchen floor. I mend a collar with a clumsy thread and listen to the silence in my head. The photograph is fading in the parlor frame. I barely whisper when I speak your name. We practice leaving in the quiet dark, with careful steps that never left a mark. You took your coat and turned the iron latch here to count the ticking watch. I fold the letters that you never sent and try to trace the way our summers went. A lifetime slips between us, and then I do not think we will walk out again. The copper thimble stays beside the cup. I leave the window open as night comes up. The kettle cools and all the fire is dead. I turn the lamp down low and go to bed. A painted clock face reads 11 straight, while you sit waiting by the garden gate, with too much hope inside your woven purse, believing every promise in the verse. I see your hands fold tight across your knees, afraid to ask the very passing breeze. Little girl, you pack your bags too soon, chasing shadows underneath the noon. That heart will break against the kitchen wall before the autumn leaves begin to fall. Your letters written with such tender care are stacked against the leg of that old chair. I wanna step right through the looking glass and warn you how the sweetest days will pass. I see your tears fall heavy on the page before you even step upon the stage. Little girl, you pack your bags too soon, chasing shadows underneath the noon. That heart will break against the kitchen wall before the autumn leaves begin to fall. We love the wrong ones just to learn the cost, and counted every single treasure lost. I wish I could reach back across the years and wipe away those foolish girlish tears. The painted clock still ticks upon the wall. I forgive us both and love you most of all. I finally learned to wear the scars we chose and rest my tired feet before it closed. solitary thought divides the stillness of this empty bedroom where we used to talk. I trace the floral pattern on the wallpaper and listen to the neighbors walking on the walk. The suitcase sits beside the heavy dresser, buckled tight with everything I chose to pack. The kitchen window slightly open to let the autumn breeze sweep through the floor. You packed your heavy leather boots and vanished, and locked the rusted latch upon the door. Your favorite coffee mug is sitting idle, with half a ring of brown beside the rim. I wonder if you felt your courage failing when street lamps flickered low and grew so dim. Taxi horn is sounding down the alley, announcing that the vehicle has arrived. I left the kitchen window slightly open to let the autumn breeze sweep through the floor. You packed your heavy leather boots and vanished, and locked the rusted latch upon the door. I never thought we would surrender quietly, without a single shout to clear the air. Just packing up the fragments of our history and leaving shadows sitting in the chair. I pull my coat collar against the weather and close the heavy front door with a sigh. The porch light burns to guide your empty coming, while I step in the cab and wave goodbye.